Let's get to work, baby. Let's get to work, baby. What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? Let's check the camera. What's poppin'? What's poppin'? We got an update. We got an update. Shout out to BR. Shout out to BR. We got an update. We got an update. If you could hear me, put an 8 in the chat. If you can hear me, put an 8 in the chat. If you can hear your boy, put an 8 in the chat. I love your show, man, especially when you make it make sense. Oh, it's a must. It's a must. Let's go. Let's go. Appreciate you, King. I was just catching up from yesterday. You back at it again. You already know this every day. This every day. This every day. But we got an update, man. This shit is crazy. They tried to put, if you watched my live yesterday, they tried to put it on the Mexican community. That's what they tried to do. They tried to do that. But just now, they just showed you who it was. And all along, I told y'all who it was. Hold on.
Were shot.
3 police officers.
Let's get to the breaking news that we are following in York County. 5 law enforcement officers.
It's cold.
3 police officers were killed and 2 deputies are being treated for their wounds. The suspect has also died.
We have live team coverage this morning in York County. News 8's Caitlin Smith is at Northern York County Regional Police.
Appreciate you,
Jacob
Georgette.
Hunziker is at the scene in North Codorus Township. Gabrielle Thomas is at the Ross Van York Hospital.
And let's begin this morning with Caitlin Smith at a memorial this morning. Caitlin.
Good morning. Yeah, we're in Manchester Township outside this new Northern York County Regional Police Department. In fact, the grass underneath the flowers that have been placed here to show support for those officers who were killed is still growing. It has just been planted. And among those flowers, there's also a sign that says "End of Watch RIP" and a card that says that this hurts. This is hurting the community and that the community is praying for the officers. There are also 2 American flags in the L of the word police here at this memorial. We can kind of go over what we have learned about what happened here. As you mentioned, yes, 3 officers killed from this police department. Also 2 sheriff's deputies were shot. And the new details that we're getting overnight, we can show you what AirView 8 saw of the scene as police were responding there yesterday. This is on Parr Road, and officers were lining that road leading back to the farmhouse where this played out, although police have said this is something that took place at multiple locations, and multiple law enforcement officials who were briefed on this situation did tell CNN that the shooter was the ex-boyfriend of a woman who lived in that farmhouse. On Tuesday night, we know that this is on Parr Road, and officers were lining that road leading back to the farmhouse where this played out. Although police have said this is something that took place at multiple locations, and multiple law enforcement officials who were briefed on this situation did tell CNN that the shooter was the ex-boyfriend of a woman who lived in that farmhouse. On Tuesday night, we know that Northern York County Regional Police responded to the home after the woman says that she spotted her ex-boyfriend in a nearby cornfield. But when officers got there, they could not find him. Well, according to CNN, the officers returned to that property just yesterday for a follow-up call, and that's when the suspect, dressed in camouflage, fired toward those officers. One of the sheriff's deputies, there were 3 sheriffs.
You heard that? The dude was in a cornfield because he was stalking his ex. You go hear more. This shit get crazy. He was stalking his ex. Dude was in a cornfield with camouflage on, bro. And he popped 5 police officers. He unalived 3, but he shot 5 altogether. Yeah, he's white. Yeah, of course. No, we don't do that leftist shit here. We don't do that. That's a cop out. That's a cop out. Appreciate you,
Sheriff's deputies there, 3 Northern York
Jay
County Regional
Nice.
Police officers. 2 of those sheriff's
Listen to
deputies
this
were
shit,
hit.
bro. It's like
One
a
of the sheriff's
movie.
woman who lived in that farmhouse. On Tuesday night, we know that
Yup.
Northern York County Regional Police
Yup.
responded to the home after the woman says that she spotted her ex-boyfriend in a nearby cornfield.
That's who it is.
But when officers got there, they could not find him. Well, according to CNN, the officers returned to that property just yesterday for a follow-up call, and that's when the suspect, dressed in camouflage, fired toward those officers. One of the sheriff's deputies, there were 3 sheriff's deputies there, 3 Northern York County Regional Police officers. 2 of those sheriff's deputies were hit, but one of the sheriff's deputies was able to fire back and kill that suspect. We spoke with a witness at the scene who says that he heard about the ex-boyfriend and the relationship, and she knows about the woman who was at that home.
The boyfriend, that's who they were looking for, a boyfriend that I think he had a fatal attraction to the oldest daughter. And she ended the relationship, and I think he couldn't handle that.
So did you hear what dude said? Dude said the boyfriend had a fatal attraction to the oldest daughter, and they broke up because he was attracted to her daughter. I told y'all, but they call us ghetto. They say black people doing this, black people doing that. They call us ghetto. This some ghetto shit. This some ghetto shit, and I have to show it.
Now, police have not released the name of the shooter or
Listen
the
to
names
this
of
shit.
any of the law witness at the scene who says that he heard about the ex-boyfriend and the relationship, and she knows about the woman who was at that home.
The boyfriend, that's who they were looking for, a boyfriend that I think he had a fatal attraction to the oldest daughter. And she ended the relationship, and I think he couldn't handle that.
Now, police have not released the name of the shooter or the names of any of the law enforcement members who were involved in this. And we do know that Pennsylvania State Police continue the investigation still today. Let's go live out to News 8's Jacob Hunsaker. He is standing by in North Cadorus Township near that scene. Jacob.
Yeah, Caitlin, good morning to you. I want to show you a little bit of...
Hold up. Somebody say something. JS said, I love how you guys always start off with race. Let's talk about mental health. Leftists don't like talking about. It's crazy how when black people commit crimes, there's no talk about mental health. There's no talk about right or left. There's no talk about conservative or liberal. It's just that black people are evil. But when Caucasian people commit crimes, it's let's talk about mental health. Let's talk about the leftist. No, bro, you don't get no cop-outs. On this channel, we give you no cop-outs. No cop-outs. You hold black people accountable, we go hold you accountable. Your boy, Charlie Kirk, going on campuses and talking about black people all day, every day. Now, let's dedicate our time to talking about what are Caucasian people doing. Unaliving 3 police officers, shooting 5 of them. Shooting 5 police officers. That's not crime?
What we are seeing this morning as we're live here on the scene, if you take a look behind me here,
Crashing
you can see
out.
what is that farmhouse with 2 very large
Get the
and
step
bright
in,
floodlights that
facts.
I believe police and officials had left out here from the scene last night. We're a bit surprised at how quiet the scene is this morning. We were under the impression that officials and officers would be here throughout the entirety of the night, but it's just a number of different media companies, including us, that are out here this morning. We expect officials will be out here throughout the morning hours, but again, as of right now, fairly quiet. If we turn the camera a little bit more to my right, your left, you can see what is the police caution tape that they left up here in the cornfield. This is the spot where we believe...
Dude came out of the cornfield with... This shit crazy, bro. Dude was in the cornfield and popped out on him. That's crazy. With camouflage on. With camouflage on. But Trump ain't talking about this. They not talking. You see how these racist Caucasian people, you can call them conservative, whatever, they don't talk about this. But they got all day to talk about black people, what black people doing in Chicago. Send the troops to New Orleans, send the troops to Chicago, send the troops to Memphis. But what about this? Every day we seeing their people are crashing out. They crashing out. Children of the Corn. Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy.
That suspect opened fire on those officers as they were
Husker.
walking down Har Road here in York County. I cannot confirm that for sure, but again, we see obviously that
Right.
caution tape that's up, and we do know that he opened fire from the cornfield. And this is the only portion of a cornfield
Much
that we
respect.
see
Appreciate you.
relative to that property, a very rural part of York County, which is why we expect and we are assuming that that's the spot where it happened. If you take a look at this map here, I want to show you a better idea where exactly we are at in York County. So again, we're on Har Road, which is in between Emmett Road.
Man, as a truck driver, I've been through all this shit, bro. Actually, I had a truck that broke down in York County, and I had to stay in a hotel for like 2 weeks till I find another job because the company I was driving for, they stopped paying for my hotel. So the truck, like I said, I drove trucks over the road for 10 years. The truck broke down in York County, and I had to put it in the shop. I was in the hotel for 2 weeks, bro. 2 weeks. The job I was working for, they stopped paying for my hotel. So I had to pay for my hotel and find another job. But the other job was way in California. So I had to, it was crazy, man. It was crazy, dog. It's crazy. So I've been through all this.
And 7th Road here in York County.
Thank you for keeping us to know. Appreciate you.
A lot of farmland, not a lot of...
Appreciate you, King of Music. Thank you for keeping us. Thank you for that 20, man. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. And thank everybody for being in the live today. You know, I told myself I'm going to start taking my live serious and stop playing music and just, you know, do it the right way. You got Louisiana all through you. Hey, I love
The
that.
closest property that we saw to this home is probably a good half-mile away. So again, very rural, very, very, very rural. And this is some of the footage
We
that we
getting
got
cops
Wednesday
for
afternoon when
you.
we first arrived on the scene. You can see
Hold on, somebody tag your it. 5. The world is a stage, and all the actors on both sides are playing their part in everything. That's it. And look, I'm just calling out the Matrix and the propaganda. That's all I'm doing on my channel. I'm calling out the people that's stuck in the Matrix and the propaganda. And I appreciate you, tag your it. I agree with you. I agree with you. But it's funny when stuff like this happen, the racist Caucasian people, they never talk about it. When stuff like this happen, they never talk about it. They act like it don't happen, but they got all day. Charlie Kirk got all day to talk about black people, what's going on in Chicago. But they treating Charlie Kirk like he was a gang member in Chicago. They stomping his memorial. The way he went out, his own people clowning him on the internet.
what was that heavy police presence as dozens of units responded.
Say
to the
around,
scene,
you made
which
a
is
good
much
point about
different
mental
than what
health.
we are seeing right now. We also want you to
Y'all comments kind of good, man. She said, say around, you made a good point about mental health. They never give us a pass. No, they never give us a pass. Hold on. Everybody get a pass but us. When black people, unalive black people, we don't get no pass. It's they criminals, they animals, need to wipe them out, all that. It's no mental health. And imagine how many people in the hood dealing with mental health for real, for real. But they will never give us that grace. We'll never get that mercy. But when they commit crimes, oh, the internet got to them. The internet changed him. They give him all types of excuses. But we never get those excuses. We never get that grace. We never get that mercy. So on my channel, we just keep the same energy. You call us ghetto, I'm going to show you, y'all the same way. Probably even worse. AB, greetings from Frankfurt, Germany. My German colleagues want to know if President Trump is going to send a National Guard to Utah and Pennsylvania. Yeah, he might send them there to chill. Nah, he ain't sending them there, bro. And I appreciate that too. I appreciate that five. Man, I appreciate everybody sending the super chats. I'm gonna shout you out. You send a super chat. I really appreciate you. No lie.
take a listen to some of the sound that we got from officials last night here on scene.
We have one suspect, class 4, 2 officers, class 4. Correction, 3 officers, class 4. one officer, class 1.
We're going to be coming in with one of the officers' side. We were going to fly, but we're just coming by ground now. We're probably less than 15 minutes out, shot in the lower abdomen and
Yup,
left,
Delta.
forearm.
Now, I know that you heard a lot in those two different sound bites, so I want to clarify a little bit here this morning. Class 1 means an immediately life-threatening emergency, while Class 4 means a confirmed death. So in that case, from that soundbite you just heard, one officer with life-threatening injuries, 3 officers that were killed. Of
What's
course, that
poppin',
has
Q?
since been updated. We know that it was 3 officers that were killed, 2 that this morning are in critical but stable condition this morning in that hospital. We are told by officials that we should have updates on the investigation throughout the morning hours. They did not tell us the exact timing of when we can expect that update, but of course you can count on us here at WGAL
Facts.
to bring that to you as soon as we get it both on air and online at WGAL.com. We're live in North Cadorus Township this morning. Jacob Hunziker for WGAL News 8.
Let's move on to the real deal.
Sandwiched between the 2 generators.
Let's move on to the real deal, Holyfield.
Associated Press has now named 24-year-old Matthew Ruth of Hanover as the suspect in the deadly York County ambush yesterday. Today, 2 sheriff deputies remain hospitalized and 3 police officers are dead. Good afternoon, I'm Susan Shapiro. We have live team coverage of this continuing story. News 8's Marcy Walsh is live at the Northern York County Region.
Hold on. Stanley just said division. But look, this is the funny part. Charlie Kirk can go to these colleges and preach about black people ain't doing this, black people in gangs. No one says division. But when black people talk about what's Caucasian people doing, now it's division. Now it's division. No. Why y'all ain't have that same energy for Charlie Kirk? Why y'all don't have that same energy for Trump when we talk about black people? But when we talk about what's going on with the Caucasian people, it's division. No, it's not division. It's not that. We actually adding, we actually showing y'all what's going on in your community because y'all don't like to talk about it. Y'all like to skip over what's going on in the Caucasian community and you like jump into the black community. No, it's no more of that. It's no more.
Police station with more, and Jacob Hunziker is live at the shooting scene. We begin with Jacob.
Yeah, good afternoon to you, Susan. Breaking new developments this noon. A law enforcement official has told us that the man who is accused of shooting and killing those 3 officers here in York County and
they shot the boy.
has been identified, as you mentioned,
they shot
as 24-year-old Matthew James Ruth. Now, that official spoke to the Associated Press.
What a picture at?
Of anonymity.
What a picture at? Show us a picture. I'll show y'all the picture because they don't want to show y'all. This him right here. This him right here. But they ain't gonna show you that. Well, I don't know if they gonna show you because this is my first time watching this this way here. So, but why haven't they showed us the picture yet? Show us the picture. I found the picture. Here you go, right here. This is him right here. Matthew J. Ruth, 24 years old. Damn, he lived a hard life. 24, he lived a hard life, dude. But I told y'all, out there in Pennsylvania, a lot of, I ain't gonna say all Caucasian people, but I'm gonna say a lot of them, they on drugs heavy, probably more than the black community. Probably more than the black community. I promise you. Bronwyn, I appreciate that 10. Thank you for that. Yeah, the meth is real. It's real. What old girl said, he too handsome for that. Well, he's in the afterlife now, my love. He's in the afterlife. Yeah, like why didn't the news show his picture? Come on, we waiting. Somebody said it must be hard to be an introverted rock star. I like that.
With Jacob.
Yeah, good afternoon to you, Susan. Breaking new developments this noon. A law enforcement official has told us that the man who is accused of shooting and killing those 3 officers here in York County and wounding 2 others has been identified, as you mentioned, as 24-year-old Matthew James Ruth. Now, that official spoke to the Associated Press on the condition of anonymity because they were unable to speak publicly on an ongoing
Exactly.
investigation. I want you to take a look at this map this afternoon because we want to give you a better idea where exactly.
Man, don't show us no goddamn map. Show us the picture of this dude. We don't want to see no goddamn map. Show us the picture of dude. How long is it going to take them? It's been what? It's been 56 seconds. It's been 56 seconds. We still haven't had a picture of Matt. Show us a picture of Matt. We waiting.
We are currently standing here in York County. So we're on Har Road, which is in between
We
Emmett
waiting.
Road and Sempt Road, a very rural part of York County, a lot of farmland, some cornfields. The closest house to the farmhouse where this took place is about a half mile down the road. So again, a very rural area. I also want you to take a look at this footage from earlier this morning. This is the lone officer that we saw returning to the scene just a couple of hours ago, kneeling down.
And look, I don't wish no death on nobody, bro. You know, even though, you know, we got our issues with cops and stuff like that, I still don't wish nobody go to a call and they get popped. You know, I still don't wish that on nobody. Because you have people come to my channel saying, he's glad they're dead. Man, look, I'm not glad nobody died. You know, especially unexpected. You know, so I have to say that because you know how people get, bro. You know how they get. But, that's all I'm going to say, but.
Down to pay his respects, show respect to the fallen brothers that he lost yesterday in this shooting. We also want you to take a look at the scene footage from Airview 8 that we got yesterday. You can see where officers lined the roads leading to that home here on Har Road. Multiple law enforcement officials who were briefed on the situation tell CNN that the shooter was an ex-boyfriend of a woman who lived in that farmhouse. On Tuesday night, we know that Northern York County Regional Police responded to the home after the woman says she spotted Ruth in a nearby cornfield. When officers arrived, they couldn't find him. According to CNN, officers returned to the property Wednesday afternoon for a follow-up call, and Ruth, dressed in camouflage, fired shots toward them, ambushed those officers. One of the sheriff's deputies then fired back, hitting and killing that 24-year-old. We spoke with a witness at the scene who says that he had heard about the ex-boyfriend and the relationship with the woman at the home.
Now look, it's been 2 minutes and 12. It's been 2 minutes and 12 seconds, and we haven't seen no picture of Matt. They haven't showed us no picture. I had to do my own research to find this picture. But they want to talk to you about Chicago gangs and all that. But you got dudes in rural areas in Pennsylvania jumping out of cornfields and shooting 5 cops. But they talking to you about gang violence. But you got dudes jumping out the cornfield. That's like a movie, dog. This is like some movie type shit. But you ain't gonna see content creators on YouTube talking about this because they don't want you to see this side of them. Because they could call us ghetto, we dangerous and all that. But we ain't hopping out no cornfield shooting 5 cops. We ain't doing that. And I bet you most of those cops, out of 5, I'm gonna say 4, all of them was the same color as Matt. Caucasian. White on white crime. They don't care, bro. I told y'all, the times have changed, bro. People don't care, dog. They don't care. So they could talk about black on black crime all day, but every day we are seeing their own people crash out on them. Every day. Tell me I'm lying.
Home. When I got past the barn, I heard gunshots, and
It's quiet when it real fast.
And then I pulled off, and I just
The
saw a lot
shift
of
is here.
chaos and saw some bodies.
Now, this is the cornfield where we believe, again, that suspect, Matthew James Ruth, ambushed those police officers, which is right across the street from that farmhouse here on Har Road. We can't confirm if that's the exact spot, but again, that's what
Now look, it's been 2 minutes and 43 seconds. We still have no picture of Matt Ruth. We have no picture. Now, if this was a black dude that, you know, shot some cops, they would have showed his Momo, his grandmother. They would have showed his mama. They would have showed his dad. They would have showed pictures from the 3rd grade. They would have showed his whole life timeline in 4 minutes. They would have showed his whole life timeline in 4 minutes. But it's taking them It's 2 minutes and 43 seconds. They still haven't showed his face. I'm gonna show y'all his face because I found it. It's him right here. Hold on. Look. There you go. But why isn't the news showing his face? So I had to go on TikTok, on on Facebook to find the information, and they can't put the information out there. Oh, so Harry, hold on. Harry, now this is race baiting. Wow. But when Charlie Kirk was talking about black people, it wasn't race baiting. Come on, bro. No. We gotta keep this same energy, bro. We have to keep this same energy. You can't do that. It's not fair. It's not fair. No. Nobody ever drops the race when it comes to black people. When it's Chicago shooting up Chicago gang members, first thing you talk about is the race. You don't go to Officer, what his channel name is? Officer Tatum's channel and say, drop the race. No, you don't. You cheer it on. You say, yeah, black people are evil. You cheer that shit on. So welcome to my channel. We ain't gonna cheer murder on because we don't do that. We ain't gonna stoop that low for a check. We ain't gonna do that. But I just gotta show you that your people are no better. They probably even worse. So I know you're not used to this kind of commentary. You're not used to this, bro, because a lot of people are scared to call y'all out. You're not used to it. So welcome.
Believed to be the case with that police caution tape that has been up since we first arrived on the scene about 4
Yeah, gotta be
o'clock this morning.
respectful.
We were expecting more officials to return to the scene throughout the morning to continue.
Look, Empress, I don't hate anyone, you know. I don't hate nobody. I don't hate Caucasian. I don't hate nobody. But when you talk down on my people and you don't sweep around your own front door, I gotta call it out. And Charlie Kirk just woke up. Shout out to Charlie Kirk, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. Because I didn't know what he was doing. He was going on tour. So guess what? I'm going on tour. I'm going on tour every day. It is what it is.
Continue to try and piece together what exactly happened here. But aside from that one who came a couple hours ago to kneel down, that's the only officer we've seen return to the scene.
Facts.
We are told we're going to get updates throughout the afternoon with a scheduled press conference at 3 o'clock. Of course, you can count on us here at WGAL to bring you the latest details and information from that press conference as soon as we get it, both on air and online at WGAL.com. We're live in York County this noon. Jacob Hunsinger for WGAL News 8.
Where's the picture?
A memorial to the slain officers is growing at the Northern York County Regional Police Station. Our live team coverage continues there with News 8's Morrissey Walsh.
Susan, like you said, this memorial has been growing steadily all morning with dozens of people here to pay their respects. Balloons, flowers, even flags. And I want to point out...
I understand that. You know, rest in peace to those cops. But where is the picture of the shooter? Why no picture of the shooter? This was 1 hour ago. I found this picture 1 hour ago. Where is the picture of the shooter? We found the picture right here. Identified as York shooter suspect that unalive 3 police officers, injured 2 other officers who had attempted to serve him a warrant at North Codorus Township property after his former girlfriend reported him for stalking her the evening before. Suspect was unalive during gunfire. You see, we found the picture, but why isn't the news showing his face? Why do I have to be the first one on the internet to show his face? A small YouTuber has to be the first one to show his face. But the news didn't show his face. They said his name, but they didn't show his face. And it's the cold part. If you Google his name, because I had to go down a rabbit hole to find him, but if you Google his name, a black man comes. You can't make this shit up, bro. If you Google his name, it's like some black Haitian dudes. They name pop, they face pop up. You can't make this shit up. But you will never hear the racist Caucasian people, or the ones that's mad in my chat. You will never hear them talk about this. But they can talk about black on black crime all day. They can talk about Chicago all day. They can talk about the 13. They can talk about the 13% all day. But this shit happened in real time. Dude popped 5 cops and they ain't talking about it. Why? Dude said, why you not answering me back? I will answer you. Let me answer you right now. Barbecue from Haiti. Yeah, it's crazy. Ain't that shit crazy? Go Google it. I always said it's not what's done to the police that matters, it's who does it to the... That's it, bro. That's it. That's it. No news articles showing his face, dog. Let's see. Let's go to an hour ago. Okay, here we go. Okay.
Shooting in York County, Pennsylvania leaves 3 officers dead, 2 in critical condition. We are taking you to the hospital with the very latest on the investigation into what went wrong. Do you hear where to go today? Starting with that deadly officer-involved shooting in York County, PA.
Yeah, the community there is mourning the loss of 3 police officers killed when they went to follow up on a domestic disturbance call. 2 other officers in critical condition. It happened in rural North Cadorus.
Wait, let's read this. Let's read this. Because I don't like ducking my ops. Somebody said, bro, people like you are why racism is still going. That guy was stalking his ex for a month, even setting her truck on fire. You are a conspiring, that is a black, what are you talking about? Look, dude, it's crazy how when black people start talking about things y'all doing, we race baiting. We racist, we are black racists. But y'all can talk about it all day and no one says anything. No one says anything. But when black people start talking about it, now we're racist. No, you cannot gaslight me, dog. I've been doing this. You can't gaslight me. You can't. We gonna talk about this shit because I know y'all afraid to talk about your own people. That's why you have to deflect. That's why you have to try to make people feel guilty. No, it don't work. You gotta face this shit. You gotta look in the mirror and you have to face this shit. What's that movie called? I think it's something about, it was on Netflix. It was about the birds. Blind birds or something. And if you open your eyes, you turn blind or something. That's what I'm doing to you right now. I'm opening your eyes. And if you go stay on this channel, you gotta watch this shit. You have to watch this shit. You have to.
Township in York County.
Bird Box. That's it.
2 hours.
It's like Bird Box. This is Bird Box. I'm opening your eyes. And you can't move. You gotta watch this shit. Because y'all not used to people talking to you like this. You're not used to it. But welcome.
From Philadelphia, NBC 10's Alex DePrado outside the hospital where the officers being treated. The 2 surviving officers are here at York Hospital in critical but stable condition.
And again, for YouTube purposes, rest in peace to those officers that died. Because you know how YouTube likes to get.
3 other officers were shot and killed. A procession with a long line of emergency vehicles accompanied the bodies of the 3 fallen officers from the scene of the shooting to the York County Coroner's Office last night. The officers were serving a domestic-related warrant along a rural road when they were fired upon yesterday afternoon. The suspect was killed by police. The identity of the suspect hasn't been released. A man who lives near the scene of the shooting heard so many shots he wasn't able to count them all.
Damn.
Gunshots. It happened that quick, and it was more gunshots than I've ever heard. And I can't even tell you how many. It was phenomenal. Just total pandemonium.
Governor.
Damn. Dude said it was more shots than I ever heard. And this an old guy, you know, shout out to him. But this an old guy. He said this is more shots than I ever heard in my life. Hold on. What the hell? The National Guards have to go to Pennsylvania, Brian. What kind of artillery they have in Pennsylvania, dog? Listen to this shit.
Who lives near the scene of the shooting heard so many shots he wasn't able to count them all.
I heard the gunshots. It happened that quick, and it was more gunshots than I've ever heard. I can't even tell you how many. It was phenomenal. You know, just total pandemonium.
Governor Shapiro has ordered flags at half-staff to honor the fallen officers. The FBI is also assisting in the investigation. In York, I'm Alex DePrato, NBC 10 News.
Now to more of your news headlines. The search is on for whoever shot a 14-year-old boy in the...
Now at noon on CBS News Philadelphia, breaking new details about the... Yesterday afternoon, a gunman died after being shot by police. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jim Donovan. This all happened yesterday afternoon in North Codorus Township.
Sad, man.
About 20 minutes south of York.
Sad.
CBS News Philadelphia reporter Joe Holden is live at the hospital there, where 2 officers are still recovering. So, Joe, catch us up. What are you learning this afternoon? Jim, good afternoon. So things are mostly quiet outside the trauma center here in York, where those 2 law enforcement officers continue to recover from their gunshot wounds. Officials said their conditions were critical. Well, in the meantime, we are also awaiting word of the identities of 3 law enforcement officers who were shot and killed on a farm in North Codorus Township about 20 minutes.
The irony, bro. The irony. Killed on a farm, but the whole country talking about how troops should go to black cities, and the crime is down in black cities. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, dog. Exactly.
South from where I'm standing. We are learning new information about why police responded to that property on Har Road in the first place. State police said the investigation began as domestic in nature. Law enforcement sources say police were at the North Codorus farmhouse to serve a warrant when the law enforcement officers were fired upon from a cornfield. The suspect has been identified as 20.
A cornfield, dog. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. A cornfield. Dude unalive. 3 cops from a cornfield. Shot 5. You can't make this shit up.
A 34-year-old Matthew James Ruth, a law enforcement official, told the Associated Press. State police say one of the wounded officers was able to shoot back and kill Ruth. Investigators have said they plan to provide an overview of the ongoing investigation and circumstances that led to this tragedy. A court docket obtained by CBS News Philadelphia shows a stalking, loitering, and criminal trespass charge were filed against Matthew Ruth early yesterday.
Now y'all notice I done went to multiple news outlets, news sources, and none of these news sources, they got his name. None of them have posted his picture. None of them have posted his picture. I had to post his picture before the news. I'm the first one to post his picture. They haven't showed a picture of him yet. Why is that? Most hated. Why they haven't showed a picture of this dude yet? Why does a YouTuber has to be the first one before these media outlets to show his face? Exactly. Come on, bro. Come on. Y'all was spitting, huh? They don't even talk about the girl who got stabbed on the train no more because they can't get real. Exactly. And they not, why we don't see the women who he was stalking? Why are they not talking Why we don't see no pictures of the dude, bro? It's no picture. No picture. But this is him. This is him. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But when it's black people, you go get a picture in the first 30 seconds. They go show you his whole family. Your boy, that unalived old girl in North Carolina on that train, they showed every mugshot he ever had as soon as it happened. They showed every angle. With him getting on a train, they showed the video. They showed everything. Every mugshot he ever had in his life, they showed it. But it's taking them forever to show the picture of this cop shooter. A YouTuber has to be the first one to show the picture. This is him. Old Matty Boy. This is old Matty Boy right here, who shot 5 police officers. What's poppin', Bill James? He been documented long ago. He had mental condition, a serious one of that. Of course he did. Who you talking about? You talking about the dude on the train in North Carolina or old Matty Boy? Hold on. Somebody said, why are American people so hostile? Look, go ask these folks right here. Oh, he said dude on the train had mental. Yeah, but they ain't gonna talk about that. When you black, you don't get the cop-out excuse. When you black, you don't get the excuse for mental health or having conditions. You just, to them, you an animal. To them, you a murderer. To them, you heartless, you not human. But when it's their people, they don't want you to talk about race. They don't, no, we don't do that over here. No one told Charlie Kirk anything when he was alive. They loved him when he talked about black people. Black people don't deserve reparations. Black pilots, I don't trust black pilots. They loved him. But when we start talking about their community, oh, we race baiting. It don't work like that. It don't work like that.
In the meantime, this is a community reeling in grief. Neighbors lining up along streets, paying their respects to the fallen law enforcement officers late Wednesday evening. As one state police official put it, the grief is unbearable, but we will bear it. Now, Governor Josh Shapiro at an unrelated news conference offering remarks to the families of those 2 wounded officers just moments ago. Let's take a listen.
I got to spend a little bit of time.
No, let's go watch it.
And I want to take a moment last night. I think it's also important to remind all, and I want to take a moment to talk about the tragic shooting yesterday in York County, Pennsylvania, that claimed the lives of 3 extraordinary law enforcement officers from the Northern York County Regional Police Department and injured 2 other law enforcement officials. I just think it is important to note again, and I know you all join me in this, in acknowledging that those who serve and protect our Commonwealth, they're the best of us. They really are. They put on a uniform every single day. They kiss their families and their loved ones goodbye, and they go out.
He bullshitting.
Slow down, honey.
He bullshitting. Let's see.
It took the lives of 3 police officers. They were shot when a suspect opened fire on them as they were serving a warrant.
And we know that 2 other officers were also shot. They were critically wounded but survived. Now, a short time ago, a law enforcement source confirmed to Action News the alleged gunman is 24-year-old Matthew Ruth. This morning, Drone 6 got a first look at where all of this
So we don't get a picture of Matthew Ruth? We don't get a picture or nothing? Y'all just go say his name and don't show a picture? I never seen this in my life before. I never seen this in my life before, bro. We don't get a picture of old Matty Boy? This is crazy. This is crazy.
Police officers. They were shot when a suspect opened fire on them as they were serving a warrant.
We know that 2 other officers were also shot. They were critically wounded but survived.
What?
A short time ago, a law enforcement source confirmed to Action News the alleged gunman is 24-year-old Matthew Ruth. This morning, Drone 6 got a first look at where all of this unfolded. This is a farmhouse in North Codorus Township. The suspect was shot and killed by police.
Action News reporter Catherine Scott has the very latest. Today, authorities are looking for evidence in multiple locations as this investigation continues. Today, Drone 6 was over the farmhouse and fields in North Codorus Township, where 5 officers were shot yesterday as police were serving a warrant. 3 of the officers died.
Yep.
The other 2 taken to the hospital in critical but stable condition.
This is an absolutely tragic and devastating day for York County and for the entire Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Last night, as police and emergency vehicles formed a procession to the coroner's office, people stood silently and together on the streets of York County, some with their hands on their hearts, others holding flags to honor the fallen officers.
Once I heard this procession was happening, I decided just to come down.
Exactly.
Pay my respects. These officers go to work every day, not knowing whether they're going to come home or not.
Authorities say the officers were following up on a domestic-related investigation from the day before. Police say the gunman was fatally shot by the officers.
There's so many gunshots, I couldn't begin to tell you how many it was. It was just a total pandemonium.
Pennsylvania State Police have taken over calls for service in York County.
There are simply no words that I can offer to assuage the grief that this community has experienced and unfortunately will continue to experience. The grief will be unbearable, but we will bear it.
A lot of questions were.
Welcome back. Let's get to southern Pennsylvania, where 3 police officers were killed in a shooting just yesterday afternoon. A gunman started firing at police after the...
They didn't even show his face. Cute, the boss lady. They still haven't showed his face. I have to. This is him. This is him. Okay, hold on. We got something new. Let's.
Followed breaking news in York County after 5 law enforcement officers were shot. 3 police officers were killed, 2 deputies being treated for their wounds. The suspect has also died. We have Caitlin Smith, who is live right now at the Northern York County Regional Police Department. She is following a memorial that is there outside the department and people who have come to pay their respects. We also have some breaking news with new information that we have just learned about what happened before the shooting happened at the house yesterday. Let's get that information now. News 8 got the court documents that show that police were called to the home on Har Road on North Codorus Township late Tuesday night. This is a live look at that home right now. A woman who lives there told police that a man wearing camo and with an AR-15 style rifle slung over his shoulder was peering into her windows using binoculars. That man, who is identified in the documents as Matthew Ruth, is the ex-boyfriend of the woman's daughter.
Where's the picture of
The
Ruth?
daughter told police that she thinks that Ruth set her truck on fire at the house in August.
Damn!
She told police that Ruth was never invited to the home. Police went to that home around midnight on Tuesday to look for Ruth in response to this call. The documents said they found his truck parked near the woods, but say after looking for hours, they did not find him.
Lunatic,
Police
for
have
real.
not identified Matthew Ruth as the shooter, but at a news conference yesterday, they said officers went back to the house yesterday afternoon to continue their investigation. We know from state police that at that time, 5 law enforcement officers were shot. CNN is reporting they were ambushed by someone hiding in a nearby cornfield, and that one of the sheriff's deputies shot and killed the shooter. We continue our coverage here with Caitlin Smith live at the police department.
Yeah, we're here at the Northern York County Regional Police Department in Manchester Township because it was 3 of these officers who were shot and killed during this. And people have been coming out this morning to pay their respects. There's a growing memorial here. We can show you some video of it. One sign says, "End of Watch, RIP." There are also flags involved. And Trisha Davenport, who lives nearby.
You damn right, Cameron. You damn right. Cameron King, you damn right. You damn Skippy.
also stopped by this morning.
These are my police officers. I don't know them personally, but they serve and protect all of us around here, so my heart goes out to all of them.
So Tricia Davenport tells us that she works in the WellSpan Health system, not at the hospital where those two sheriff's deputies are listed in critical but stable condition. She works at Philhaven, but because she's still
Y'all
part of the
crazy, bro.
WellSpan system, she says that she did get an alert during this situation, and she says the reason for that alert is part of an upgraded security.
Hold on, I didn't see what y'all saw.
In the WellSpan also stopped by this morning.
Hold on, what y'all?
These are my police officers.
I ain't gonna talk about people, bro. I
know
ain't
them
gonna.
personally, but
I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna scoop that low today. I ain't gonna do that. But welcome to Pennsylvania. That's all I'm gonna say.
During this situation, and she says the reason for that alert, it's part of an upgrade.
Y'all, wow, she is queen. Y'all crazy, bro.
Following the death of West.
Somebody said she is queen. Y'all, wow, bro.
In February. And again, many people have been coming out here this morning.
Y'all
to
crazy.
put down flowers. We now have roses and flags.
Somebody said she is queen.
As we've been standing here in just the last couple minutes, people are still coming and going, and I'm sure this won't be the only memorial.
Oh my God, y'all, wow, bro. Okay, how the fuck I get out of this shit?
Followed breaking news in York County after 5 law enforcement officers were shot. 3 police officers were killed, 2 deputies being treated for their wounds.
Shut up. You ain't gonna show us a face. We don't want to hear that shit. Show us the perpetrator. There you go, right there. There you go, right there. But they have no problem showing you this guy, the singer who had a body in his car. They have no problem showing you that. But they won't show you his face on no news outlets. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Let's go. Let's go. Shout out to 2 FBA women. She cosplaying us. No, you goofball. You must suffer from self-hate. No, I actually love myself. You would hate me in real life, for real. I got box braids down to my belly button. And I don't give a fuck rocking it. Hey, shout out to the braids. I filter my news through FBA networks. It would be so crazy if that singer is innocent, but yeah. Yeah, you could tell it's a setup. Like, that's what the industry do, bro. They let you do what you do. They let you date a chick that's underage. They let you do that. They allow you to do that. And then when they come, to make sure you want to sell your soul, they got everything on you. They got videos on you. They can do whatever. And yeah, somebody's setting him up, bro. They got him. But when you sign those dotted lines, it is what it is. White girl with the braids, probably on a food stamp. They ain't probably. Come on, bro. They ain't gonna talk about that though, Trey. Appreciate that $1.99. They ain't gonna talk about that. He deleted 3 cops. 3. And he shot 5. Hold on. And he shot 5. They ain't gonna talk about that though. See? Damn, they be on Anton. They be on his bumper, bro. Damn.
Most people don't know this, but personal injury attorneys.
We don't want to know. Keep it to yourself.
God bless and watch over those families that are suffering right now. Lori and I join you in prayer. And I think prayer is a particularly important thing at this moment here in York County and all across Pennsylvania.
Thank you, Governor. I share your thought.
Developing this morning, a community in rural Pennsylvania is grieving. This after a gunman killed 3 police officers, leaving 2 fighting for their lives. This was the scene in York County on Wednesday. This is near the Maryland border. Dozens of police cars lining the streets, blocking off roads. Police say the gunman is dead, adding that a full investigation is now underway. News Nation's Jessica Cartalia, she is live outside the hospital in York, where these injured officers are being treated at this hour. Jessica, what more are you learning this morning? Horrific.
Well, Kelly, good morning. 5 Pennsylvania troopers were gunned down. 2 of them, as you mentioned,
it's in
were
PA,
covered right
York
in the
County.
hospital behind me. 3 of them sadly lost their lives. The shooter.
And this the cold part. This the cold part. Yesterday they tried to make it seem like it was a foreigner. So they wanted to blame it on the Mexicans. They wanted to blame it on the Indians, probably the Amish too. You know, they wanted to blame it on the Mexicans, bro. They tried to do that. So this is why on every news outlet, we ain't seeing no pictures of Matt. It's no pictures. When the last time you heard somebody that shot a police officer? 1. This dude shot 5 of them, unalive 3. And we have no picture from these news outlets. I had to, hold on. I had to do my research and find his pictures. We have no pictures on the news outlets, on the media. This is crazy. This is crazy. Matthew J. Ruth of Hanover, Pennsylvania. Look. This is him. That's your everyday Pennsylvania Caucasian male right there. And they tell you to watch out for gang members. They tell you to watch out for black people. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? But I told y'all, they all on the same team. The FBI, the cops, the local cops, the hospitals, the news outlets. No matter what, they go stick with their people. They go stick with their people. They not go just show their face online. They gotta see who their family is. They gotta see if their family is someone of importance. They'll give you a name, but it's all about that imagery, bro. Just like your boy got popped in Utah. See, that imagery was powerful. We really never seen that before. Hold on, let me read. Dre, white on white crime, white on white and white on blue crime. It's crazy. So we never really seen a Caucasian dude get popped like that before. But we have seen black people, because they don't mind putting on Facebook, Instagram, King Von died. They keep the videos up. King Von body in the morgue. They show you his body. They don't, you can't report it. Nipsey Hussle died. They still leave the video up. They show you, they don't mind showing you when black people get murdered. But when your boy got popped in Utah, that showed the world something, bro. That was a weakness. They don't see racist Caucasian people. They don't want you to see their weaknesses, bro. And when your boy got shot in the neck like that, that really changed everything, bro. That changed everything, bro. You know? That changed everything. See, look, when King Von, Nipsey Hussle, when black people get shot, black celebrities, they don't mind showing that. You can put that on Facebook. You can put it on YouTube. It don't matter. But when their people get popped like that, you getting fired. You getting suspended. You getting expelled from school. Jimmy Kimmel, he getting fired from talk. I'm telling you, bro, they can't take the same shit they dish out. Tell me I'm lying.
Was killed at the scene, we're told, by police. Officials haven't revealed the name of those officers just yet or the name of the suspect, but they say that police were following up on a domestic investigation. It has been a very difficult 24 hours for the Commonwealth.
There are simply no words that I can offer to assuage the grief that this community has experienced and unfortunately will continue to experience. The grief will be unbearable, but we will bear it.
Attorney General Pam Bondi is calling the assault on law enforcement.
Hey, so hold on. Somebody said you're doing what mainstream wants. Talk about nothing but race. Hold on, let me pin that. See, I love my ops. Look, on this channel, I don't really block people unless they start cursing or they just be rude or whatever. But if you're my ops, you welcome. He said you're doing what the mainstream wants. Talk about nothing but race, creating tension. Oh, I wonder, did you tell Charlie Kirk that when he said black people don't deserve reparations? I wonder, did you tell Charlie Kirk that when he was trolling George Floyd? I wonder, did you tell Charlie Kirk that when he said Trayvon Martin was hunting George Zimmerman? I wonder, did you tell him the same exact thing? So if you ain't tell him that, don't tell me shit. Don't tell me shit. Don't tell me shit. Because all y'all was quiet when he said Trayvon Martin hunted George Zimmerman. When the cops told Zimmerman to stay in the car, they told him do not pursue. And what did he do? He chased a 17-year-old. So don't come on my channel telling me I'm divided. No, it's already been divided. This country started off division. What you gonna think it's gonna do? You think we're gonna start with slavery and end with kumbaya and hugging? It don't work like that. Especially when racist Caucasian people not confronting what they done. They trying to erase the history. No, go talk to, that's y'all problem now, see? I'm trying to give y'all some advice. Don't talk to us. We ain't the ones to be mad at. Go talk to your people call the left people, the liberals. Go talk to your people. Don't talk to us. Go talk to your people. Because that's what y'all fail to do. You worry about black people all day and this type of shit going on. You got to do the cornfield unaliving 3 cops, shooting 5 cops. You got a dude shooting an activist in the neck live on TV. So don't worry about us. You got all these dudes shooting up schools, shooting up churches. Why are you talking to me about race? Y'all have white on white crime going on. And this is really white fatigue because we getting tired of this shit. We getting tired of turning on the TV and seeing white teenagers, white 21, 20-year-olds shooting up schools. We getting tired of seeing white young men shooting up churches. We getting tired of that shit. Your own people getting tired of it too. So, hey, y'all, I'm going to wait till these news outlets show a picture. And I'll be back live later on today. I'll be back later. We see it weekly, fam. Weekly. I mean, weekly. Really, it's starting to be every day. It's starting to be every day. So I'm going to wait till they post a picture or something about him, more information. I think they have another press conference at 3. So I will be going live later on today. I appreciate everybody joining live, man. I'm going to start taking my live serious. I'm going to still do videos and stuff too, but I'm going to start taking my lives more serious, you know. So, hey, I appreciate everybody. I'm out. And appreciate everybody for sending the super chats. I really appreciate that. I'm out.